submitting to the incremental bending of our will until we're more akin to silly putty than men and women must be resisted. This is not a social contract where there's a neighborhood pool and everyone agrees not to take a dump in it. Because now there's a phenomenon where adults just crap in pools. People are so lazy and selfish. That's what decadence is. When your culture is being fastidious and having a really good social contract and really standing up for each other, then deviance becomes the thing. Like take Japan. You can leave your Rolex watch out at a restaurant, come back in an hour, it'll be sitting right there on the table. When they have earthquakes and tsunamis, the crime rate goes from almost nothing to zero. People don't take advantage when things are tough. But they have shops and things and degeneracies I didn't even know existed, because as the culture begins to break down, as the family breaks down, they are turning into bifurcated people where they have this evil side, this devilish side that is into total degeneracy. And the left sells this argument, oh, you got to feed that side. No, you don't want to feed that side. You want to be conscious of that and realize what it is and that it's not part of your real system and that you have all these other destinies to be carried out that are going to take self-sacrifice. And it's because you're not sacrificing and you're not ascending that your body then starts to want to kill you. And you start to be depressed, you start to hate yourself because you're not being strong, you're not standing up, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You know, plants don't grow and live very long in zero gravity. They just spin around in circles. If a plant doesn't get some wind on it, it never becomes strong. But they want to raise us inside these little greenhouses for the act of fully and completely conquering us forever. And there was just a horrible article. In fact, it's in the stack from yesterday. Will you guys grab it for me? How China defeated the coronavirus and what they did right. And it's a big shot of a domed city in China where the party elites go and live outside of the smog and dead bodies and roaches and open sewers. And it's all about how you want to get into that dome city. They're the place that gave us COVID, but they're the dome city. They're the answer. See, it's an inversion of reality. If you guys can't find it, we'll just put it in post. Here, I'll pull it up. It's on my phone. It's a New Yorker magazine article. Point is, you'll see it everywhere. It's the same article over and over again. And Google and Apple and all these groups, it turned out for 6-7 years are secretly buying up all the land in Denver, in Toronto, in Austin, and other areas, and also middle of nowhere, West Virginia, to build domed cities. There it is. To build domed cities so that you can be safe from the COVID. Oh, you'll get inoculated, you'll get face scanned, you'll get checked. And then, of course, COVID will never make it into the city because they'll lie and say it never did, because they can call it COVID if they want. They can not call it if they want. It's like New Zealand saying, oh, we haven't had one case in 3 months. Oh, we had 4 cases. We're suspending the election and locking everything down. The whole end game is putting us into an artificial system. Why do you think the CIA-funded seminal film of George Lucas, THX 1138, was about? That was his student film that he then remade with Robert Duvall in his first major movie. Because you have Robert Duvall in your movie, and it's you're living underground with the psychiatry tyranny over you, and they're breaking up, they're ending the family, and everyone's forced drugged, and everybody has shaved heads, and everybody wears the same uniforms. And why are they living underground? Well, you learn Lucas didn't put it in the film, but in the postulate that, of course, he didn't come up with, there's been a bioweapon above ground. So this is a civilization 100 years after it goes underground. And then you see it again in the movie The Island that came out in the early 2000s. And everyone thinks that, oh, they're lucky to live on the island because the bioweapon killed almost everybody on Earth. But once a week, somebody wins the lottery to go from this island that's not very comfortable to this luxury island where they're repopulating the Earth on this island where you can finally be outdoors again. And there's hundreds of these books, hundreds of these movies to pre-program you. Predictive programming is what it's called, because even though it's scary, when you sit there eating popcorn and eating a hot dog and drinking a big old, large, delicious Coca-Cola, and you're watching clones getting grabbed and harvested, and because they're really clones, and you're watching all this tyranny, but you're sitting there eating a hot dog, your brain at the cellular synapse level associates it as non-threatening. It's like being raised and, watching tigers eat zebras all day, but you just eat pizza and drink Jack Daniels while you watch it. You'd think, hell, you'd associate tigers eating a gazelle or a zebra as good, except it's going to eat you. So the slasher movies, the death, you're all desensitized so that when the real thing comes or your neighbor's being drug off, you don't say anything because it's just more entertainment. It's just more death. It's just more abortion. And so they tell you, yeah, we need to riot more. Yeah, white people are inherently evil. Yeah, we need to keep babies alive and harvest their organs. And there's a lot of money in that, hundreds of thousands of dollars. The mother makes the decision whether the child has value. She says it doesn't. We go, we are not resuscitating. The baby's alive. But the term is resuscitate. It's a legal term in the bioethics board of the UN. The death panels. But people get upset about that. That's Bill Gates. If we don't give that last year of health care to that older lady who's a patient, we can hire 10 teachers. But that's a death panel. And so people don't like it when I say that. And people clap. They're like, I get some money. I get some money. Kill the granny. But we're not talking about an old lady deciding to not get cancer surgery. We're talking about, no. He's training you that less is more. He's training you that we're not going to have an infrastructure anymore. You're not going to have police. You're not going to have doctors for you. That's for folks that have a high social credit score and are like rock stars that live in the new super cities that are so cool to be in, the dome cities. But of course, the real establishment's going to be out at armored compounds, in northern Canada. That's really where they're going. They got some decoy facilities and stuff around the world, but they're up in Canada. They're being watched very closely. And none of them are going to escape. They're not going to escape their controller that wants to kill every one of them. I mean, they're under the wings of just absolutely savage entity with just a vicious will that just... The devil doesn't just want the planet. It hates us. We're a more advanced life form. We're just at an embryonic level. And he's looking at this larva going, that's the big guy right there. He made these damn things. God, look how powerful they are. If I can just get control of them, they'll build whatever I want. And I'm going to tear them inside out before I flush them down the toilet because I'm going to beat this guy. And that's Satan in a nutshell, folks. So God says, all right, have your way with my larva, just makes them tougher. I'm with the big guy. I'm with the plan. I'm on the program. I get it. I understand it. Time to join God, folks. Get off the planet, go next level. Let's do it together. It's all a big test. Say no to Bill Gates, say no to Satan. If you just tuned in, you're driving down the road, listen to some local radio station, you think, what in the world is this I'm listening to? Listen, I wish it wasn't true. You can go research what I'm telling you. You can watch my film, Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement. It's still on YouTube. They took it off Amazon because it had 5 stars and tens of thousands of downloads. They called it hate speech because it exposed the Nazi government where the Nazis came from, Planned Parenthood. And so, yes, literally a film that starts with the Nazis and goes through the history that came before it. That was removed for hate speech. Watch that film made 13 years ago. There's Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement. They want you dead. World government's just the beginning. The end game is you're dead. And I describe exactly the plan in their own writings, their own words, and their own videos. So just remember that. And you'll watch it and you're like, wow, 90% of this has come true. Yeah. And then you want the rest to come true? And I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it again. If I read the cheat sheet for college, say for Moby Dick, then I'm not surprised when Ahab goes down with the whale at the end if I actually read the whole book, because I read the ending. So I know what they're going to do next because they've got a giant industrial, cultural, economic, spiritual, genetic plan. And I understand with Stockholm Syndrome, people are like, I don't want to admit that. I want to go play golf. I want to go swimming. I want to go to the bar. Hey, guess what? You're not going to do any of that soon. Worldwide depression, war in the streets, hell on earth. A dystopian fascist / communist technocracy. China as the model just to begin with. And they're coming for one thing, your children, because they want to mold them into a nightmare. And they want to tear them psychically, spiritually, limb from limb, slowly. They want to take the image of God and tear it apart. So I'll cover temporal, little focused news next hour. Oh, let's look at this and let's look at that. But all of it is the fetid, stinking, scrofulous-covered droppings of Satanism. And Satanists love to have that pentagram on their chest. I think it gives them power. But all it is a man inverted. That's why they call them movie stars. They're stars. The head, the arms, the legs. That's the star. The symbol, the pentacle, is a positive symbol. That's why we have it on our flag. Represents we the people. Those are pictures of humans up there. Stars. Made in the image of God. To travel to the stars, of the stars, from the stars, with the stars. And the blue of space. And the blood that flows through our veins. And the purity of God that holds our blood up. That's a holy symbol. That's why it's beautiful. It's why it's strong. Stars in the sky. But the devil worshippers go, oh, you're a star because you come to Hollywood and you bow down to us, and we turn it upside down because it's so much fun to be upside down, driving man into the ground, destroying yourself, destroying your destiny, throwing it away, and throwing away other people's destinies. That's the most important part. And you look at these rebelling sacks of ugly garbage that do this. They have absolutely nothing. And they slither around like they're doing important work. And then they deceive people, go, oh, we don't really believe in Satan. We're just trying to mess with Christians. But we think the Democratic Party and liberals ought to be Satanists. And that should be the new religion. Well, it ain't new. A religion of selfishness and destruction and death, the left-hand path with your children. And all of these fools coming out and making fun of the Christians. The real Satanists look like Bill Gates. They don't look like the scary guy with the lazy eye and the scar, you know, or the guy that's got the club foot and he's mad at God because he's got it, or the Harvey Weinstein that's mad because he's got a vagina. They're just mad at life. This guy's a Satanist. He wants to kill you. And he wants to do it and gloat over you and laugh about it while he does it. because he metaphysically has to get up there and say, life's never coming back. You're going to be depressed forever. It's over. Don't have kids. Oh, the first world might, be able to go out in a year and a half or so. But for the third world, he's telling you. He was on Chinese TV and Australian TV and a bunch of others, Japanese TV. Over there, he had a different script. He was point blank. They said, hey, there's people you say are depopulating everybody. And he told them on all 3 channels, we're making a film about him. He said, there's different vaccines for different places. And the presenter goes, because we project on America we're racist and we're bad. And no, we're the Christian place that tried to be Christian, that tried to value everybody. The antithesis of this Satanism. You think in China and Japan and places that they don't think they're the elites and they don't hate each other and they don't hate foreigners and outsiders? The Japanese only respect us because we kicked their ass. And as soon as we did, they went, oh, you're the master. And I'm not putting the Japanese down. I'm telling you the psychology. Bill Gates gets up there and says, hey, don't worry, I'm not going to kill you. And the presenters are, oh, thank you, good. He goes, his answer, are you depopulating? Well, there are different vaccines for different people. And he says, oh, the third world's never getting out of lockdown because they're going to starve everybody to death. And people go, well, Jones, you're against the hordes pouring over and all this. The UN also keeps them poor, dumbed down, and then uses them as a weapon. I'm not for 600 million people from Africa and all over being brought here deliberately to not have any future or jobs, dropped in the middle of everywhere to destroy us. The globalists use them as a weapon while they're busy killing them. That's what you do to your enemies. You throw them at each other. And we sit here and we look at this and we watch this. Do you really think when they're done killing all those people in the third world, they're not going to kill you? Do you really think that? I mean, even if you want to kill the black people, and I don't, even if they dumb them down and turn them against me and all this other crap they've done to everybody, you think you're actually going to kill all these people and that you're not going to get killed yourself, or that God isn't going to tear you apart? And so they get the Africans to come over here and, burn American flags, all this stupid crap. And they put that on the news to make you hate them so you'll go along with killing them. Bill Gates is on TV. And he says, the economy's never opening again. Yeah, a lot of people are going to get sick from the vaccine. See, he's not in the mode anymore of telling you lies. He's out in the open. He says, this is the way it is, and we're going to do it. And then all these fools are going to go out and get these vaccines going wink, wink. Because, tell you, the average Democrat, mid-level, knows Planned Parenthood's meant to kill blacks. And they'll say, hey, man, they're killing these poor people. You going to take care of all these black people? And I'm like, well, I sure as hell ain't going to kill them. Let's get down to brass tacks here, man. There's a bunch of poor white people, too, that don't know what they're doing. We should kill them? Let's just kill everybody. And then I got to sit there and watch the front people they've got, a bunch of weird Islamic women and fat, black lesbians running every group on purpose to make us hate them. Ugly, surly, fat black lesbians, force-fed everywhere so that we hate black people. And so we hate black women that have had their men taken away and their culture destroyed. And we're being fed in right now at the same time. They elect horrible, nasty, evil, satanic women and put one from an Islamic country we saved up with a bunch of commies over here, all up there with all those contradictions, where they kill those women in her country for being lesbians. Spewing how much they hate America, not saying a damn word about the NBA, not a damn word about China, a damn word about 3 million Muslims that aren't bad Muslims getting their asses tortured to death in China. It's all cutesy funny to these people because they put evil leaders in place on purpose to make people resonate with that, because people are followers and believe that that's Spirit's leadership. And it's because we aren't challenging them in the third dimension at all their events and everywhere else with the truth. They've taken control. Well, I refuse to sit here and not lead the assault. I don't want to be your leader. I want you to be a leader now. We don't have time. It's time to start leading from the front with action. We'll be right back with hour number 2. Stay with us.